Monday, January 8th, and this is our first Monday, technically second Monday of the month organizational meeting. I'd like to welcome Ann and Cheryl Berry. I don't know what that means. Oh, is that better? Sorry about that. So welcome to our new board members. Jen Huvey is absent this evening, but will be at our next board meeting. Tonight at our organizational meeting, we vote for officers and other things that we have to do annually for the board. So we will start the meeting with approving our agenda. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries and the agenda is approved. Looks like we need a battery for one of our phones. Do you want to trade? Thank you. Yep. Okay. We'll now continue with the election of board officers. Nominations are now for the officer of board chair. Are there any nominations for the officer of board chair?
I'd like to nominate Erica Allenberg as board chair.
Erica Allenberg is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the officer of board chair? Are there any other nominations for the office of board chair? Are there any other nominations for the office of board chair? If there are no other nominations for board chair, then nominations for the office of board chair are closed. We will now vote for Erica Allenberg in the office of board chair. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries and Erica Allenberg is elected board chair. We will continue with the election of other board officers. Nominations are now for the office of vice chair. Is there a nomination for the office of vice chair? I'll nominate Karen Gabler. Are there any other nominations for the office of vice chair? Are there any other nominations for the office of vice chair? Are there any other nominations for the office of vice chair? If there are no other nominations for vice chair, then nominations for the office of vice chair are closed. We will now vote for Karen Gabler in the office of vice chair. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries and Karen Gabler is elected vice chair. We will now nominate and elect the office of clerk. Nominations are now open for the office of clerk.
I nominate Dan Aram for clerk.
Are there any other nominations for the office of clerk? Are there any other nominations for the office of clerk? Are there any other nominations for the office of clerk? If there are no other nominations for clerk, the nominations for the office of clerk are closed. We will now vote for Dan Aram in the office of clerk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries and Dan Aram is elected clerk. We will continue with the election of other board officers. Nominations are now open for the office of treasurer. Michael Birdman is nominated for the office of treasurer. Are there any other nominations for the office of treasurer? Are there any other nominations for the office of treasurer? Are there any other nominations for the office of treasurer? If there are no other nominations for the office of treasurer, then nominations for the office of treasurer are closed. We will now vote for Michael Birdman in the office of treasurer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries and Michael Birdman is elected treasurer. We will continue with the election of other board officers. These nominations are open for the offices of assistant treasurer and 2 assistant clerks. And I would like to nominate Jen Huvey for assistant treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Cheryl Berry for the role of assistant clerk.
And I'd also like to nominate Elliot Mann for assistant clerk. So that would make Jen Huvey nominated for assistant treasurer and Elliot Mann and Cheryl Berry nominated for assistant clerk. Are there any other nominations for the offices of either assistant treasurer or assistant clerk? Are there any other nominations for the offices of assistant treasurer or assistant clerk? Are there any other nominations for the offices of Assistant Treasurer or Assistant Clerk? If there are no other nominations for the offices of Assistant Treasurer or Assistant Clerk, then the nominations are closed. All those in favor of electing Jen Huvie for Assistant Treasurer and Elliot Mann and Cheryl Berry as Assistant Clerk, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Jen Huvie is elected Assistant Treasurer, and Elliot Mann and Cheryl Berry are elected Assistant Clerks. And that concludes our officer nominations for the 2024 calendar year. We're going to move on to our consent agenda. Are there any items anyone would like to remove from the consent agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries and the consent agenda is approved. Do we have any leadership or committee updates? Do we have any superintendent updates for this meeting? Outstanding. Then do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning our organizational meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Oop, that wasn't a motion. Okay. Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you. We'll see everyone at 5. Good night.